When my wife walked out of our marriage to chase a man she had barely known for a handful of weeks, I thought the pain might devour me whole. But what I didn't know then, what only time and heartbreak could reveal, was that her leaving would open a door to a kind of peace and joy I'd never known I was missing. I'm 34 now, and as I look back on the 7 years I spent married to Lily, now 32, it feels like a distant life, one that belonged to someone else. We were together nearly a decade, our story beginning innocently in college. She was a magnetic, artistic soul lounging at the back of the lecture halls, her laugh echoing like a song, while I was a quiet physics tutor, captivated by her fearless spirit long, before I dared to believe she'd notice me. But she did. Bold and full of light, she asked me out first. She claimed to love my depth, my steadiness. I was drawn to her vulnerability, her raw honesty, the way she wore her heart with no pretense. We weren't perfect. Life tested us. Unstable finances, career pivots, and a gut-wrenching miscarriage in our 4th year that left a scar so deep we both carried it differently. But we leaned in instead of falling apart. Or at least, I thought we did. Everything started to shift last summer, gradually at first, like slow-growing cracks in a wall you don't notice until the structure buckles. Lily began spending more time away, claiming she had joined an art collective in the city to rekindle her creativity. I supported her fully, even proud of her. I bought her an expensive set of brushes and converted the sunniest corner of our home into her personal studio. But her warmth began to slip away from me, as did her attention. She'd come home late, detached, her clothes faintly scented with something unfamiliar, something that didn't belong to us. I convinced myself there was a reasonable explanation. The alternative was too devastating to accept. Then one day in August, I came home from a short 36-hour business trip, only to find our home hollowed out. Not robbed, just emptied of her clothes gone, her art supplies missing, her keys left on the kitchen counter. And on the dining table, a small handwritten note that simply read, Asterisk, I'm so sorry. This isn't working anymore. I've met someone else. I have to follow my heart. Please don't hate me. Asterisk, no name, no answers, just silence. My world fell apart. Calls went unanswered, messages undelivered. Her social media vanished. A mutual friend, hesitant but honest, finally told me what I hadn't wanted to hear. Lily had moved in with a 28-year-old named Julian, an aspiring poet who talked about the stars like they were old friends, lived in a chaotic artist's loft, and made a living reciting spoken word in dimly lit cafes. He was nothing like me. I spiraled. I barely slept, barely ate. I replayed every moment of our life together, trying to pinpoint when she had stopped loving me, how I had failed to see it coming. Therapy kept me afloat. My brother moved in for a while to make sure I wasn't drowning. Slowly, painfully, I began rebuilding. I started hiking again, took on a freelance contract that took me to Montana for 6 weeks. I woke up one morning and felt the sun on my face, and for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel like a ghost. Then came Sarah. We met through an outdoor group. She was sharp-witted, empathetic, and had this quiet strength that drew me in. With her, I didn't have to be someone else. She didn't need fixing. She didn't want me to dim myself to fit her light. We were at a rustic winery one weekend, laughing over shared stories, when my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Asterisk, hey, it's Lily. Can we meet? Asterisk, my stomach sank. I ignored it. The next day, another message. Asterisk, Julian, and I fell apart. I made a huge mistake. I miss you. I miss us. Can we talk? Asterisk. I wrestled with it. I had so many questions. So I agreed to meet. Once, when I walked into the cafe, Lily was already there, and the change in her was staggering. Her sparkle had dimmed. She looked worn, her smile brittle, her voice smaller than I remembered. She told me Julian wasn't what she had imagined, that he was chaotic, manipulative, often broke, that every argument turned into a pseudo-spiritual lesson about her failings. She said she missed my calm, my kindness, that she left because she felt trapped, craving something bigger, but that what she found wasn't freedom, just confusion. And then The thing that broke me. Asterisk, I thought you'd always be there. Asterisk, that was a real betrayal. Not that she left, not even that she cheated, but that she assumed I would still be standing where she left me, waiting with open arms. She admitted she thought I would just forgive and forget, because that's who I was. I told her I had forgiven her, not for her, but for me. But that didn't mean she had a place in my life anymore. She cried, asked if we could try again. I told her no, not because I hated her, but because I finally loved myself enough to say it. Then days later, another bombshell dropped. A mutual friend, one of the few who had stayed neutral, told me that Lily's affair had started nearly a year before she left. While I planned our anniversary, she was sneaking around. While I massaged her shoulders after work and dreamed aloud about our future, she was already slipping away, and her friends had known. They let me carry the weight of a relationship that was already rotting from the inside. That revelation solidified everything. I didn't share out of spite or to seek pity. I shared because I endured. I rebuilt. I stood again, taller and stronger. The man who cried into his pillow in a half-empty house last summer is gone. In his place is someone who knows his worth. Lily didn't let go easily. She kept sending soft texts. Hope you're doing well. Remember our trip to the coast? Trying to dig her way back into a life she had set ablaze. Then came the guilt tactics. You're throwing away a decade. You've changed. She was right. I had changed. I'd grown. I'd built walls where needed and opened windows where it mattered. I no longer needed to be the foundation for someone else's flight. The last time I saw her, she showed up unannounced at my door. I was cooking with Sarah, who was laughing in the kitchen. I opened the door, and there she was, Lily, pale, eyes red from crying. She saw Sarah behind me and froze. "Oh," she whispered. Asterisk, you were serious. Asterisk, I stepped outside, closed the door behind me, and looked her in the eye. Asterisk, you need to let this go. I have. Asterisk, that was it. The final goodbye. I blocked her number that night and asked mutual friends to stop updating me. Sarah asked me once if I ever missed what Lily and I had. And the truth? I don't. What I thought we had was only real on my side. I was fighting to save something she had already walked away from. Heartbreak isn't just about losing someone. It's about losing who you were with them, questioning every decision, every blind spot. But eventually, the pain turns to clarity. A brutal, beautiful clarity. Now my life is calm, joyful. I'm not bracing for the next betrayal or dimming my light to match someone else's chaos. I laugh more, sleep better. I have rituals that are mine and a relationship that feels like home, not a performance. Lily once said she felt lost in our marriage. Funny thing is, I was the one disappearing. Quietly, completely, until she left and forced me to find myself again. And if you've ever been blindsided by someone who left and came back only after it all burned down, know this: you don't owe them anything.